Well, hi. How you doing today? That's a stupid intro. Anyway, today I'm out on Georgetown Lake. It is, I don't know what time it is, probably about 7:30 now maybe. Got everything all set up. 7:20. 7:20. Snowing like crazy outside. It's about 20 degrees. Kind of screwed up this morning. I stopped a little bit earlier than I normally do. Normally I fish in about 12 feet of water. Today I was shooting for 10 and I hit 8. So I don't know, if it quits snowing I may tear down the hut and move out a little bit further, but I don't know. Today I just wanted to try something different. Been catching 2 or 3 fish each time out. Nothing extravagant. So I thought I'd start out this morning's video with a small tour of how I set up my ice hut, what it is that I've got going on here, and if nothing else, give you a video that you can share with your friends that you're trying to get to go ice fishing and they're like, I don't know, it's too cold, it's miserable, ice fishing's not my thing. If you can get them to watch this video, this might be able to talk them into trying it at least one time. Especially if you have an ice hut and a decent heating system. Like I said, right now it's snowing hard enough that I couldn't imagine sitting out on the ice. These guys that take their 5-gallon bucket and all their gear and sit right out in the elements, they're a little more manly than I am, I guess. I kind of like some of my comforts. So let's real quick just give a quick tour of what it is that's going on and how I set up my hut. Some of the things that I figured out that I kind of like. Yeah, let's get at it here. So basically I've got a 6x6 Eskimo ice hut. It's the IT3. The top is insulated, the sides are not. It's about 6 foot by 6 foot across the base. As you can see, when I come out, the first thing I do is I shovel out the snow and I bring in these foam pads. I started doing that for Miss Trina, just to help keep her feet warm while we're out here, and then I got spoiled and I kind of like it. I like being able to not be slipping around on the ice, be able to set my stuff down and not have it sitting in water, whatever else. So I've got the foam pads down on the floor where it's just me today. I've got my comfy Eskimo chair. I fish a tip up on one side. I like doing that just so that I've got one side that I can jig and one side that'll take care of itself. Occasionally I will pull up the tip up. I'll put a jaw jacker over there. Sometimes I'll go ahead and put in a dead stick jigging rod and go from there. So working our way around, get the chair. I use the Strike 4 fish finder. I built a DeWalt box that I rigged up. It's got the battery and everything inside of it. Basically it's a sonar fish finder that you drop in the hole there and it'll mark where there's fish at. Like right now, see it. I don't know if you're able to see it or not. Anyway, yeah, works like your basic fish finder. It's also got a flasher mode. Lots of different things. I love that. Moving around, one fishing rod in that hole. For a tackle box, I use a Work Buddy gearbox. Everything in the bottom, it's got extra fuel canisters, all that kind of stuff in the base of it. And then all my tackle and gear are on the top part. Yeah, just good storage. Tucks into the corner real good. Like it a lot. Little buddy heater right now running on low. Like I said, it's 20 degrees outside, so it's not that cold. So running on low absolutely keeps it warm in here. As you can tell, I'm wearing a sweatshirt, no stocking cap, no gloves. Very comfortably warm right now. Put that over here, I guess. Yeah. So, and then I got my cooler. If you're into the beer scene, you can load that up with whatever your favorite adult beverage is. For me, it's waters and a lunch. The little case on top is just my GoPro and drone and that kind of stuff. My fish scooper hangs on the side right there. And then I've got these really cool fishing pole holders that work really well on these hub units. And all that it is a wood clamp. Take and hook the wood clamp right onto the round hub here, and then your fishing rod can drop right in there. If you're changing out jigs or whatever, you can turn it this way, drop it in there like that, and drop your jig right down where you're working. You can sit right here, fix your jigs, get done, turn it back to the side. And what I tend to do is keep 3 fishing poles on the sides with all 3 different jigs. We got 3 different jig runs there. If I fish for a while and I'm marking fish but nothing's hitting, I'll switch poles and try that. So just last night I went and got 2 of these. See if I can make this show up by using the other one. All this is a battery LED light, and it tucks in. It's too dark over there to see it, too bright over there to see it. Just tucks in right underneath of the beam that comes down and goes from the center hub down to the corner here. Just tucks right in behind there, and it's just a push button on off. Lights it up really well in here with 2 of them. One of them does pretty good, but I didn't want dark spots when I'm trying to work, so I went ahead and got 2 of them. Picked those up at Ace for 20 bucks a piece. They take 6 batteries, 6 little AAA batteries, and supposedly have like 50 hours of lifetime. So anyway, we're going to give those a run. So far I'm loving them. Yeah, if it gets a little bit nicer outside, we'll go outside and I'll show what I do as far as setup for fish that I catch. If I catch any fish today, I'm not super confident with how shallow I'm set up. Well, I may wind up running out and resetting up a little bit deeper, but yeah, that's where we're at this morning. Yeah, stay tuned. Here in a little bit, we'll throw on some more video. Stay tuned. All right, let's turn this just a little bit. Okay, so I was set up when I got here. I was in 8 feet of water. Wasn't marking hardly anything. I tried it for a couple hours. Caught 1 small salmon, and that was the only thing I even marked. So I moved out. I'm now at about 15 feet of water. I've gotten several marks at 12 to 13 feet deep, and we are we've got one bigger rainbow trout, only about 14 inches. So what I'm doing now is I'm using the Onyx map on my phone, and I'm putting a waypoint for fishing. I'm going to mark this one as yellow, and I'm going to say let me use that. Alright, so we're going to go 15 deep marks at 12. Got something coming down to my line right now. He marked it about 11, it's coming down to 12. Hit enter. Alright, and 15 deep, marks at 12. Save. Pretty good mark right there. Okay, so anyway, that's where we're at now. It took me about 30 minutes to completely tear down my whole system and move to a deeper part of the lake. Turned the heater on and left it on pilot light, never turned it on. So anyway, that's where we're at right now. I think while I have the camera on, I'll go ahead and talk about goals. The importance of setting goals, the importance of having something to work for, working towards something. For a lot of people, the way to success is to figure out where you want to be and then put in the steps for what it's going to take to reach that goal. If your goal is to own a new pickup, what do you need to do in each step leading up to getting a new pickup? If you've got bad credit, it's fixing your credit. What does it take to fix your credit? Put in that step. Or multiple steps, whatever it takes. One thing that I want to make sure and emphasize, though, is in life we want to make sure that we're not so set on a goal that we forget to enjoy the day. I do a lot of disc golf videos, and I watch a lot of disc golf I watch a lot of videos, I make videos, I listen to chat rooms, and everybody's talking about that goal of reaching however many feet or whatever score or whatever else. And I think it's important to remind everybody to enjoy the day while you're out. Enjoy the trees, enjoy the forest, enjoy the golf course, enjoy wherever you're at. When you're out here on the ice, yeah, the ultimate goal is to catch a few fish to put in the smoker. But the reality is you're fishing. And it's kind of that way in all of life. Make sure that when you set goals, you're not so focused on the goal that you forget to enjoy the day. I think that enjoying the day is, if it's not the most important part of life, it's got to be close. There's no point in being here if we're not going to enjoy the day. So, that being said, I'm going to get back to fishing, and yeah, set your goals, reach for them, but make sure and keep everything in check and keep it in balance. That's important too. Yeah, oh, marking another one here. Let's see if we can get somebody's attention while we're. He's definitely checking it out. If I drop, bam! Oh, missed him. My bad. I got too excited. He's definitely still there. He's hanging out, waiting for me to get my crap back together here. Alright. Dang it. Maybe he'll come back. Maybe he won't. That's fishing. Dang it, I was so ready to catch one on camera. Alright, well, I'm going to get back to fishing, and if we get another mark or two here, we'll turn the camera back on and see if we can't catch us some fish. I want to take this opportunity to talk about the Strike 4 just a little bit. To start with, this is not a paid advertisement. This is not in any way is it advertising for Garmin. It's just my experience with it and what I've found with it so far. I really enjoy it. It's got multiple features. You can set it up as a flasher like this. For those of you that are familiar with flashers, you know what this is. For those that are not, this line that you're seeing right here, that's my jig. As fish come onto the screen, they'll show up as a line. The size of my jig is small enough that it makes a blue line. The thicker the object is, the more red it'll be. So as a fish comes on screen, you'll actually get a red bar, and quite a bit thicker than the one I'm looking at right here. I don't know why, but I really enjoy the traditional setting on it, which is this one right here. Okay, and I've got mine set up to where it's got, this is the total depth from 0 to 15 feet, and then I'm zoomed in on 10 to 15 feet. So this is the zoom screen here. As you can see, that's my jig bouncing up and down right there. When a fish comes in, hopefully while we're filming this, we'll mark a fish and you'll kind of get to see that. But it's got different gain settings, different screen features, all kinds of stuff. The biggest thing that I'm finding with using any kind of electronics is I generally, before I started using these, I was always fishing. Alright, what you're seeing there is an air bubble that's coming up. But I was always fishing a foot and a half off the bottom. And all of a sudden I'm learning that a lot of fish will swim across. I'm fishing down here at 14, 13 down here, and a fish will swim across at 12. And when one comes across at 12, I can lift up to it. And a lot of the fish that I've caught this year have been away from where I was originally jigging. If I'm up here jigging at 12 and 11 feet, and all of a sudden I see movement down on the bottom, I can just let it drop. It goes to the bottom, it'll hit my mark, and yeah, so This one, I think brand new is like $120, and then you got to buy the battery. Okay, there's a fish right there. Just marked it. There he is again. Just had a couple come through right at about 10 feet. Right there's another one, right on my jig, up by 10, 11 feet. So I think what I want to do here real quick, I'm going to go out here to zoom and enter, and I've got it set on manual zoom. We're going to bring that depth up. Bring the depth. Bring that depth up just a little bit. Go to zoom. We'll zoom out just a little bit. Alright, go back to depth. Bam! Alright. Yeah, having that up where I could see at 10 feet made a big difference. Man, I think this one's good rainbows. This one's stripping off quite a bit of line. So one of the cool things with this, I can watch here and I can see where he's at as far as depth. Let's get this out of the water before it messes us up. Okay, check on that. And where's he at? Should be able to see his face here. I just hit my mono. I think it's mono, yeah. Whatever it is, my white line that I put on. Yeah, it's a good size rainbow. Alright, let's clear the deck a little bit. Get his face up in the hole. And bam! There we go. There's a, give you an idea, that's a 2-foot pad. His tail's on that edge. Looks like he's got 5 inches or so there. 19-inch rainbow, roughly. So we're going to dispatch this guy, get him cleaned out and addressed, and get the line back in the water as quickly as we can. But yeah, good day right there. It's a good looking rainbow. Welcome back. This is Coach Mike and we're outside. Today we're playing on the ice. Kind of wanted to show off my homemade jaw jacker that I made. It's landed us a few fish so far. Seems to be able to do the job. So pretty simple little design. So without further ado, let's talk about my jaw jacker. Okay. Bam, son, look at that. Alright, so as we're getting ready to talk about the jaw jacker, it went off. Anyway, this will give me an opportunity to show you how I set the thing. Then we'll talk about how I made it. Okay, so all I've got there is a PVC pipe, and as long as it'll hold your fishing rod, it'll put tension on the rod here. This trigger mechanism is the part that will change a little bit from pole to pole depending on what you got going on. This one is a handle off a paint can. This end is the end that attaches to the paint can, so it already gives me my hook. Basically, it's a pretty simple setup. I mean, line comes from the reel, comes up, goes over this deal here. When the fish hits it, it pulls down on that, which pops the trigger, sets the hook, and generally a reel in fish. So yeah, that's all there is to that. Yeah, it's I think I got $10 into that one. You can buy the factory ones for about $40. I bought $20 worth of pipe and I built 2 of them. So if you're interested in the exact specs and exactly what I used, feel free to leave a comment, and we'll definitely share with you what the pipe sizes are, what I used for lengths. And like I said, this length here is the one variable, depending on the length of rod you're using. I think most of my rods are 28-inch rods. So I made one size that basically fits most of my rods. Oh, got marks over here and I'm missing the boat. Bring that up a little bit, keep an eye over there too. Holy cow. So I've got a dead stick running with the Strike 4 going on behind the camera. I've got the jaw jacker going on over here. I was running a dead stick, but I kept missing little bites, so I just changed to this, and I can move it around and set it towards more out of my way if I want to. The one downside, sorry, fish on the Strike 4 again. The one downside to this setup in the hut is it does take up a little bit more space, as opposed to we're getting some excitement over here. Yeah, occasionally I'll set up just my tip up over that hole. Sometimes I'll set up one of these with a rod in it, just like so. That's what I had earlier, and I kept missing little strikes. So I switched it up and went to the jaw jacker. So we'll let that do some work for a little bit, and we'll see what happens. Yeah. So we're sitting here in about 15 feet of water, fishing about 12 feet deep, kind of jumping back and forth between 12 and 10. There's another mark right there. That was a fish, and he was just above my jig. Downside to recording is sometimes I'm looking at the camera instead of what's going on with the fish. But yeah, we'll keep fishing and see what happens here. Don't forget, our kids learn more by watching our actions than they do by hearing our words. Be the kind of person that you want your kids to be when they grow up. They'll watch you. They're always watching you. Don't forget, recreating is cheaper than therapy. Thanks for watching.